Look at you being all awake and stuff. You're reading words, and you probably aren't even stabbing anybody right now. You deserve a coffee, you little ray of sunshine.
I'm Judy. I have cafe. Come for breakfast.
Hey folks, Mike Barron here. Every time we do a crowdfunder, we place it on Fund My Comic. Because Luke Stone is a great guy, he's a stand-up guy, and most importantly, Fund My Comic is very comic creator friendly. They won't kick you off if some purple-haired freak writes in and tells them to kick you off. His fees are also very low. I recommend Fund My Comic for any comic or graphic novel projects you intend to do.
In the middle of the night, or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
What a crowd. What a crowd.
What a crowd.
What a crowd. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day here in southern Indiana. What's it like up there in Michigan?
It's a little gray and threatening in mid-Michigan this morning.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I do want to start off by apologizing. If you guys start seeing the roboting and the little white wheel, we don't know what's going on.
Like we just had.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a nice, strong internet signal, and
It seemed to be 5x5.
might be StreamYard acting up today.
Like the blame
Could
StreamYard
be.
for it.
Could be, I don't know, something more sinister afoot,
Otters.
like the Foot Clan.
The Foot
Could be
Clan,
Shredder and the Foot Clan messing with us.
opposed to the Evil Hand Clan, or the Tonsil Clan, or the Tongue Clan,
The Tongue Clan.
the Evil
Ooh.
Uvula Clan. Yeah.
The evil Uvula Clan. Oh, Randy, what you been up to? What you been working on?
Oh man,
days?
I have been well, had a couple of big commercial jobs that's kept me away from writing. Been finishing up Atlantean 3 that Russ is currently penciling, doing the final script on it, and it has been a challenge. But this entire gig has been a big challenge. We've got 2 issues out of the Atlantean already, 2 volumes of that, all based off of the Shadow Kingdom. So we're looking at putting an omnibus together of the first 2 Atlanteans in the Shadow Kingdom, all in 1 volume. That's got a phenomenal cover, just a great cover, penciled by Russ and painted by Renzio. Looks phenomenal. I can't wait for it to come out. I told Russ it really needs to be a hardback because those hardbacks are pretty.
Hardbacks.
So
Yep.
the hardbacks of Shadow Kingdom that we've got are just amazingly well done. Love them.
I think you should. I mean, I would definitely encourage you guys.
Be a great volume for somebody's
Yeah.
shelf. Yeah. Exactly.
That's nice.
So yeah, finishing up 3. I've got the plot for 4 all done. As soon as 4 is scripted, I'm jumping right from 3 into 4, even though 4 won't be out until towards the end of the year. And then I'm on to the Aniverse Omnibus. So we're collecting all of the tales from the Aniverse stories and issues together into it looks like it's going to be 3 volumes. And we're going to see about putting a slipcase on that, maybe doing a limited run of those in hardcover, just for folks to have it. It'll be the 40th anniversary in December of Tales from the Aniverse coming out from Arrow Comics.
Wow, really?
4D, yeah, 40.
Yeesh.
Seems incredible, but going back through this big shirt box I've got, and I'm actually small. My hands, it's bigger than my camera's reach here, but it's a huge box of pre-production drawings that Sue and I did, and original artwork, and a bunch of fan art by a bunch of different folks, some known, some unknown, that are just gorgeous. And we're looking at, like I said, doing a 3-volume set. Sue has already got her cover done for the 2nd volume, which will have all of her Varsel's Vixens material in it, which were a group of female adventurers that were in Tales from the Aniverse. And the other covers are it's just going to be a big project. I can't wait to get my hands into it. So that's on my bucket list.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, man.
And all the short stories will be there that we had printed all over the place. Caliber, Antarctic Press, self-published. Arrow Comics printed a bunch of short stories. And there were a few short stories that were done for Flint Comics and Entertainment that nobody's read outside of the local Genesee County area here, where I had a comic newspaper in the area for about 100 issues, 100 months. And there's a few Aniverse stories in there that nobody else has seen, and it'll all be bound together into 3 nice, handy volumes. The characters are still real solid, and a lot of the stories are still real good. Real happy with it, so can't wait for folks to see it. Especially since it's been 40 years, and a lot of folks don't know how big or how great Aniverse was when it was first out. So can't wait to get that out there.
Yeah. Man, it's great to revisit those things. In fact, Aniverse is probably where I first was introduced to Arrow Comics, which was pretty neat.
It was the first regular Arrow comic. Ralph and Stu, who started Arrow Comics, Ralph Griffith and Stuart Kerr, when they started Arrow Comics, they let us go first so that they could do their projects with the knowledge. We were their guinea pigs, Arrow Comics guinea pigs, for a title, just so they got the road smoothed out for the Realm and Dead World and Night Streets that came after that. So
yeah, what was it? Something 7.
System 7.
System 7. Yeah. I like that book. That was good.
It's a fifth
And I
title.
love-
Only ran 2 issues though, but yeah,
I know that was unfortunate, man. I'd love to see
it was.
love to see us revitalize that one and
Yeah.
put that one back out again. I mean, that'd be a great title. It's nice to kind of redo stuff. Remember, like with the, when people when there was New Coke. Remember that New Coke?
Uh-huh.
And people were upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Coke, and they wanted the old formula. I think I know why they wanted the old formula. So I found this old commercial, and we'll take a look at this commercial.
They should have gone back to the old formula. Then
Old formula.
everybody
With
would have been a
cocaine.
little happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, check this out.
1961.
1961.
You know, this was me 5 years ago, and it's still me. Because I confess I'm a waistline watcher from way back. Well, that's enough for today. Now for a lively lift. Ice-cold Coca-Cola. There's no waistline worry with Coke, you know. Actually, this individual-sized bottle has no more calories than half a grapefruit.
Half a grapefruit.
Right,
Amazing.
yeah.
Another thing, the cold, crisp taste of Coke is so satisfying, it keeps me from eating something else that might really add those pounds. Coke's a natural. Wholesome blending of pure food flavors. I guess that's why everyone likes the refreshing new feeling you get, only from not too sweet Coca-Cola.
Pure
No wonder.
food flavors, not
Lively,
too sweet.
lifty Coca-Cola provides a welcome bit of quick energy between meals. Makes for a pleasant pause in a busy day. Oh, and remember, Coke is low in calories, too. Say, now, don't you get any thinner.
That's back when that formula, I'm sure, was a lot purer.
I'm positive that they were lying.
That too.
Yeah, I mean, my money is on lying. Yeah, so I thought I'd share that today. I found that the other day. It's kind of funny. So you might notice I'm in a suit jacket.
Yep.
It's unfortunate. It's some sad news. We're gonna have to definitely cut out on time today because I've got a viewing. We had a young guy in our community, basketball player, 16 years old, who's working on a vehicle, big truck, with one of his buddies the other night, and it slipped off the jacks, and he was underneath it, and it resulted in a tragic loss for us all.
Very sorry to hear.
So
that.
some of our
That's never good.
yeah, some of our powerhouse kids knew him well, and so I'm going over there to support them, and support the community and what's going on there. Great community here, though. True Scripts is a sponsor of the powerhouse. Look at that. It's getting the light. I'm doing my lights and
Can't
stuff
hardly
today.
see that logo.
Yeah, I know. It's real dark on there, isn't it? They,
The
of course, they
internet's
don't have me
dark
working
anyway.
on their marketing.
Yeah.
They don't have me working on their marketing, so it would have popped more. That's how we would have done it. Yeah. So unfortunately, that we are supposed to have a guest today, Kitty Phillips from Flip City Magazine. Is supposed to be popping in at some point today, so we're looking forward to seeing her. I'm really hoping that she doesn't have the time zones wrong, and that she shows up soon. Otherwise, we're only going to have about a half hour with her. Yep.
Where are they based out of?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's Eastern time. I thought it was Eastern time, but it might be Central. Who knows?
Are you in Central or are you barely in Eastern?
I'm barely in Eastern. I'm barely in
Uh-huh.
Eastern. If I drive south a little bit, a little south and a little west, I'm in Central time. So
Yeah.
I'm just
That dividing line
just the
through
tip.
that area is a little screwy. So
Yep. Yep, just the tip. Yep. We didn't do bacon last week. I can't. Oh, I remember why we didn't do bacon.
And Rabbit Hole pointed that out.
Yeah, we had a
In the
great.
chat?
We do have a great community here. We do have a great
Yeah.
community, but we also have a section of the community that it's a little rabid this week. A little rabid over the last.
Rabbit?
Rabid.
Rabbid.
RABB. ID, not rabid or RABID.
I've been feeling a little ratted myself, but anyway, go ahead.
We had somebody post didn't go through me. I didn't post it. It wasn't your boy.
Wasn't your fault.
Yeah. So they posted an article right before June started. And it wasn't even the article. It was a preview of the article. It wasn't even really a preview of the article. It was just a screenshot of the article graphic and the title. And let's just say it was less than
Flattering?
yeah, flattering might be a good word, but it wasn't, the subject matter wasn't handled with soft gloves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rabid and not rabbit. You know what? We're gonna put those comments right up there so people see them. Yeah, rabid, not rabbit. Yeah. Yeah. So and it was also categorically wrong. The title, it came across as very inflammatory. It was very much like a Matt Walsh type article title.
It's my opinion about 3/4 of the comic industry, the last about 10 years or so. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was about, family and homosexuality. And it was not packaged well at all, which created quite a community firestorm that we had to deal with and had to put out.
Through the comic industry?
No. This is from actual community. Comic industry isn't a community. Okay. Yeah. Remember, I don't use that term for comics.
No.
Yeah, no.
And
this
you shouldn't.
was,
yeah.
This was local. This was through the ministry that I work at.
All right. Gotcha. Yep.
They posted it on behalf of our ministry here. And, yeah. And it was, I'm like, whoa, no. Okay. So it created quite a big issue for us to deal with. Gotcha. It generated a local protest against our ministry, and people going to the city council about us, trying to demand that the director get fired. And yeah, so that's what I was dealing with. That's why we didn't. That's why we didn't do Nerd Bacon last week, because I was still putting out fires. Still putting out fires. I was a fireman. You know, I always wanted to be a fireman, Randy.
Get them big boots on.
Yeah, I always wanted to be a fireman. Yeah. And so turns out I did end up being a fireman, just not the kind I thought I was going to be.
I hear you. Yep.
For the record, never go full Matt Walsh. Just don't do it.
That's what Rabbit Hole says. Yeah.
So he says some good things, right? But then he says a lot of stuff that's just ill-informed. I won't say uninformed, but ill-informed. And you could tell he had an intern or something write some of the stuff for him. And it's just for content, you know? And I'm like, come on, man, grow up. Grow up, man. Get with the program. Matt Walsh, stern father, an internet troll, had a love child, pretty much. Yeah. It was crazy. It was nuts. So we're kind of on the backside of that now, but it has forced me to start creating more content. I was kind of letting the Substack go, like other people were. It was around before I got here, so other people were in charge of it. And now I'm scheduling the stuff, and I'm making sure that the packaging and the marketing and the branding and imagery all works with our message. And I'm actually even creating content now. So I'm actually writing articles for the Powerhouse and, kind of sharing.
Gotcha.
It's nice. It's kind of forcing me kind of out of my comfort zone. Not that writing that stuff is uncomfortable, but I had gotten so used to just not doing it. Is just being a comic book artist.
Pretty much like getting your sermons down on paper, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly like that,
Yeah.
So it's nice, and I'm starting to do more. We're working on more podcast stuff that I'm going to do, and I was actually encouraged by my boss here to write a book. On a couple of there's like 3 topics you can easily write a book on, and you should. And so I am now in the process of writing a book, Randy.
There we are.
I'm in the process of writing a book. But I'm also taking kind of my publishing knowledge, and we're doing now Christian content publishing through the Powerhouse, because we need resources to train our leaders and to help our parents of the students we have, and then also for the students to consume. So we're looking for faith-based or family-friendly entertainment that kind of fits into our values that we can publish, and then educational stuff that we can do. So it's kind of a big move, a big step here. So it means I'm probably, I started out as the media director. So I guess it's still technically media directing.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's fun. And it really kind of all stemmed out of that week of just chaos, man. I'm telling you. But here's the thing. I was kind of prepared for it. So since we've dealt with multiple issues in the past with like Fund My Comic and in comic books, the social media fire, the backlash over nothing, or over misunderstandings, or just people trying to create their own narrative that is not true to the actual story, whether it's somewhat true or not true at all. I got used to that and knowing how to kind of reform the messaging and take control of that.
Yeah.
And so all of that knowledge from the past experiences just came rushing in, and it was all useful and good for the last few weeks, because we were able to pretty much reduce the fire to just about 30 people in the town. And then
it only takes one angry mom, though.
Right. Yeah. We had a few angry moms, but we got it, I think we got it dealt with. And then, God was very gracious with us the whole time. We prayed for wisdom and what to do. And little did I know he had prepared me for that through comic books, starting a website. What's really odd is that I'm like, who gets death threats for starting a website? Right. That one I always wonder, like, who gets death threats for starting a website?
Yeah.
When I was getting some of those death threats, death wishes, a lot of death wishes, not necessarily death threats, but wishes. Who gets that for starting a website? And then, so now I was
it seems ludicrous for starting a website,
really
opening up a platform to comic creators, getting threats like that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Be sure to tell him you almost died every other sentence. Yeah. I almost died. Yeah. I like to say, I didn't almost die to deal with this. But no, so it worked out.
I try not to think about that time. So
yeah.
Anyway.
I definitely don't want to forget it, because it definitely made me more than what I am now.
I still wear the 24 socks I got from the hospital.
Oh, man, I love those things.
I
love those things. Those grippy socks.
Yeah.
Come on. We should all be wearing those all the time. Like, why is that not a staple?
Yeah.
For us all, man. That's amazing. I love those things.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Drives the wife crazy because they're bright yellow, and I usually wear dark clothes. So
yeah. My favorite colors are black and gray. I've been trying to work in more color. I've got like a light blue shirt now, and some greens. But I went and I got some more blacks and grays. Oh, we've got some stuff up so it looks less like a closet in here, more like an office. We brought Bob in because Bob needed to be a part of
an attic in a haunted house. Yes, I know.
Yeah. Definitely looks less like that now and more like someone's supposed to be here. So
that's why I've got the sheet up over there so you don't get to see all the cluttered mess on the other side.
It's all about the optics, my friend.
It's a mess over there. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I have to tell people,
I'm not homeless.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. But yeah, so that day, it was Thursday. It was actually 2 weeks ago, Thursday after Nerd Bacon. I was getting phone calls, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I'm getting all these phone calls from local numbers, and then I realized, and I opened up my phone and I saw that post, and
oh no.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh no. I was like, this is not good. Yeah. And so that Thursday sucked. And then, it took 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks of finally clearing it up. They were at city council Monday night.
Dr. Mask says, I thought the curtain was CGI. I'm not that good, Dr. Martin or Dr. Mask.
Yeah.
Not that good.
It's not that good. Not that good. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. Something about YouTube. The algorithms are killing me for some reason. I'm not sure why. my views and my watch hours
The botany
up
babe. Oh,
quite considerably. I mean, they're in the like boom, 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 way up.
our watch hours.
Yeah, my watch hours, my views,
Oh,
all of my metrics and analytics are showing all improvements except for subscribers. And I have lost like 10 subscribers in just a few days. Bunny says the algorithms are killing everybody right now. So the only way to do that is for you guys to like and to make a comment, share it out, tell people to come check it out. I don't know what's going on. We've got 39 people that have viewed us over on Fun My Comics so far, 25 over on Luke Stone Studios over there, and then right now on my main YouTube page, we just have 7 faithfuls. So we're noticing a lot more comments and watching from the X platform, which is weird.
I heard X was gaining ground in that regard. Yeah. So I have a rough time now on my Facebook, on my podcast, switching it, because when I first started, it always comes up as private on Facebook, and it takes me forever to try to figure out how to make it public. But the last couple of times, those boards just aren't popping up like they're supposed to. So I have to wait until the program's done running before I can make it public, which is really irritating. And on top of that, Facebook only saves the broadcast for like 60 days and then they delete it.
I've stopped broadcasting anything to Facebook. Facebook is pretty much only good for reels. And I mean,
even that's pretty useless. Yeah.
People are still on Facebook. There's a monetization option for pages that get a lot of traffic. And I was able to build up the, like my personal page is monetized ish. I don't do anything to earn money on it, but it's there if I ever decide to do it. But yeah, well,
good evening, sir. Can I interest you in a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
He's not Chinese, but he's Pedro.
Close. Close enough.
Yeah.
He's not Chinese. Oh, yeah. Welcome. Let's see who all is in the chat. Who all is chatting with us this morning? We've got Headless Bourgeoisie. We got the Woke Breaker. What's up, buddy?
Woke Breaker.
What's up, buddy? We've got Rabbit. We've got Coop in the house, man. Good job, Coop, being here. Appreciate you very much. We got Levi Skeen. Welcome, Levi. Dr. Mass. It's good to have you here today.
Mass.
Appreciate you. Here's Pixel. Pixel's in the house. Woo, woo, woo.
Pixel.
There's Hojo. Good to see Hojo around. And then we got John's Long Box in the house, man. It's good to have you here. As you come in, be sure to let us know you're here. Over on X, we got Crypto Comics Marketplace chatting at us. Good morning. Good morning to see you. And we do appreciate you stopping by. We do have a little bit of news. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully Kitty shows up sooner rather than later.
And Pedro just disappeared.
Pedro disappeared again. Maybe it's that, maybe it's that Soros funded.
Yeah.
It's not Soros funded. It's what did you say? It was the Walmart lady.
One of the Walton relatives apparently has been funding everything. Yeah.
She's like, yes.
All the anarchy running rampant. Yeah.
It turns out everybody got a plan until they get shot in the face with a rubber bullet. Right?
Who was it? Tyson that said everybody has a plan till they get hit in the face.
Yeah. It's really sad what's going on over there. It's really sad what's happening over there. It's
inexcusable, really.
Good for anybody. It's not good for anybody, and we need law and order. I think people just gotten, it's like that kid that has parents that don't discipline them. And then one day the parents, they go to a seminar or something and they decide, we're turning over a new leaf and we're disciplining now. And then those kids, they just rebel and they're angry because you've kind of changed the rules on them. That's what I'm seeing over there. I'm seeing people that got used to just living life outside of the legal way of doing things, right? And Now that people are being held accountable for these things, I think people are getting upset.
I just
And
saw it
people are
as a
lashing
way
out.
for those folks to make a quick $200 to $2,000 in raising a little anarchy, and then take that risk of having to spend thousands in lawyers' fees afterwards for being caught. So,
Yeah, yeah, the Irish
Most
goodbye
of
is what he gave us. Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, eating on his coffee break.
Eating bacon.
I'm getting a phone call, so it pops up on my computer. I don't think you guys can see that when it happens, but it does distract me. Even when I'm on my ADHD meds, it still gives me a bit of a distraction. But dude, okay, so we got to jump into some news here, and I hate to say it, but when it comes to Diamond, it's not the big deal.
Doom and gloom coming soon.
Doom and gloom coming soon.
Hello.
Listen
Here's an article written by Captain Obvious.
Yep.
April was a tough month for Diamond.
You don't say. You don't say.
May and June ain't going to be pretty either.
April was a tough month for Diamond. Total decline since January, now over $10 million. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of cabbage, baby.
You're in the green section and you're expecting a check from Diamond. You might have to wait a while.
Happening.
You might have to wait quite a while. Yep.
Based on recent filings, April was a tough month in the Diamond Comic Distributors bankruptcy, bringing the total decline in the company's net worth since January to over $10 million. The net worth at the end of April was negative $5,224,936
and 5 cents.
$224,936. Yeah, and maybe like a nickel or two in there.
Yeah.
And an amended operating report for January, which Diamond filed in May, corrected the net worth at the end of January from $2,572,866
and 5 cents,
which it reported in its initial filing for January, to $5,695,551
and 5 cents.
Yeah, in round numbers.
That's just round numbers. Oh, sorry.
In round numbers.
Round numbers.
Diamond's net worth at the end of January was over $5 million. At the end of April 1st, it was over $5 million in the hole. Negative $5 million in the hole. April was an active month in the bankruptcy, with an attempt by Diamond to change the winning bidder in the auction for the company's assets from Alliance Entertainment to Universal Distribution and Ad Populum. A lawsuit by Alliance Entertainment in response to the order by the court to complete the sale to Alliance Entertainment. The discovery by Alliance Entertainment that Alliance Games distributors had lost Wizards of the Coast as a supplier, and the subsequent termination of the purchase agreement. Another lawsuit by Alliance Entertainment and the court order to complete the sale to Universal and Ad Populum. Ongoing losses are painting a negative picture for publishers and other unsecured creditors that were owed money when Diamond filed bankruptcy. They are hoping that the assets of the company will be sold for enough after expenses, which are mounting, by the way, to pay 100% of the money they're owed, but it's becoming increasingly difficult. I think that is a pipe dream. I think that's not going to happen. I think if you think that might happen, you are out of your mind.
Do they call that catfishing?
It might be. It's definitely a bait and switch.
Well, the bait and switch was that bid.
Yep.
Them bidding and then Alliance getting in there and going, hey, not everything's here. You're like losing magic, aren't you? So they lost some magic 30 years ago. But anyway, that's a whole nother story.
It is crazy. We have
and Doctor Who,
a new panelist today. We have a new panelist today. Let me look for a nice intro for them.
Panel says only thing deader is disco and Doctor Who. Yeah.
Oh man, don't even get me started on Doctor Who.
That's what happened.
All right. I like Billie Piper. She's a nice looking lady.
Well, they haven't even, they haven't even admitted she's going to be a doctor yet.
Right. We don't even know. Anyway,
They might as well have had Mickey Mouse pop in.
that was the Pawn intro. I need to have music and stuff to that. Pawn Writer, Infinite Entertainment. Welcome, sir. Good to have you on the panel today.
Hello, lads. Hope you're having an extra crispy morning.
It is extra crispy, except for me.
Are you guys getting echo?
No.
Okay.
There's a little one, a little bit of acoustics and
You got headphones?
off your mic, but it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Just wasn't sure. How you guys doing?
Good,
All right.
good. All right, we have the guru back. Hold on.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes, and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
I'm covered. I know how to tie my shoes, and I definitely know how to eat burritos backwards. But speaking of burritos backwards, Pedro's back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
When we're not
serious
grinding.
about getting China out, and they just destroyed 5 Chinese towers, Huawei towers. So now
There is no Chinese presence in Panama.
No, not at all. So yeah, my internet is going to be coming in and out throughout the show.
It's going in and out everywhere right
Yeah,
now.
everywhere.
The article's
Okay.
popping in and out. We're all grinding on occasion. It's all good.
It is what it is.
Just all part of the show.
Chat, let me know how it looks for you guys. Is it as bad as it is for us, or is it worse?
It's winking. Here, everybody's
Is it
winking
bad
through.
for you
mine.
too?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, bad news for Diamond.
But do they deserve good news though?
No.
That's my
They've
question.
been terrible.
Exactly.
They've been terrible.
Mhm.
They have abused, and there's like a weird Stockholm syndrome type thing where if you say, like, there was this period of time, if you would say all the bad things about Diamond, say, look, they can't keep going this way, they're going to go bankrupt, people would crucify you over this, man. They would get so angry that you would even suggest that their beloved Diamond, their sole and only distributor, their only pipeline and hopes for comic book stardom, would somehow dissolve and die, and they'd have to come down here with the turfs, with the scrubs, and crowdfund and self distribute their books and actually work.
It was an incredibly slow death.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when people say that, what I hear in my mind is them saying nobody's left me around better than Diamond.
I gotta say, man,
love
that
those
sarcastic rant is the most positive I've ever heard anyone talk about Diamond.
Yep.
Well, doing my part. It's what we do. That's what we do here.
Oh, isn't
sarcastic
this
rants and
isn't
yeah,
this
sarcasm
white
is my
supremacy
spiritual
now?
gift.
Sorry.
What?
Isn't this like white supremacy or something? Like, it's gonna be.
That's okay.
I don't know. Yeah, some people say
Yeah.
that it stands for white. I don't know.
Yeah.
People are stupid, man.
Yeah.
People are. It's like what Tommy Lee Jones says in, I believe it's Men in Black. I think it is. That was the movie. Of course, I mean, he's been in so many movies. They all kind of come together for me. But he says a person is smart.
Yeah.
But people are stupid.
Stupid.
Because even a smart person will tend to go with the flow. The morons get you yelling.
But you know that's a self-preservation instinct, right?
It is, and it's unfortunate. It really
Yeah,
is.
going with the flow. It's like it has to be like if you're fighting against running water, you have better chances if you try to go to the flow and see where you can get out. So it has to do with something like that. Like people would go with the flow, not because they're stupid, but because they're cowards.
Yeah, cowards. Spineless. Here's someone that's not spineless.
No.
It's our friend here, Milton Greep.
Milton Greep. Oh,
Retailers fear loss of Diamond data flow.
Oh boy.
This is something that I had not considered. One of the biggest fears I've heard from comic retailers I've interviewed since Diamond's comic distributions filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in January has been the loss of the monthly data flow from Diamond, which listed products from hundreds of suppliers. Diamond wasn't just a one-stop shop for product. It was also a one-stop shop for data on upcoming products, bringing together information in a mostly consistent format, like I said, mostly consistent format, that retailers could use to take orders from their customers and plan their monthly purchases, which also happens to be one of my problems. Let the rant continue, here it goes. The problem with that is when they think that this is where they're going to get all of their news on what's coming, they don't realize that the gatekeepers that are Diamond are not just gatekeeping for quality, but they're gatekeeping for thought. And I do not believe in that. I think that whether you agree or disagree, the only thing that the standard should be is the quality of the product. How well is it drawn? How well is it written? How well is it produced? And let
honestly,
the customers decide whether.
Honestly, though, we're in a subjective industry, a subjective art form. Even that doesn't count. What really counts is what the retailers can sell.
Yeah,
right.
And what they
people
can't.
entertain.
Let the retailers decide, especially with the
that
final
should
order
be the
cutoff.
way that market works. Absolutely.
Yeah. So since we have the FOC, or the final order cutoff, how that works is you can submit your book to previews. The retailer has a final date on which they can order that, and you can have a predetermined number of sales that if it doesn't reach that sale, the book doesn't get published. We don't print it, we don't ship it, it gets canceled, right?
Right.
I think that you should just let the retailer decide whether or not they think they can sell it to their customers. They know their customers better than some committee of 5 or 6 people in the Diamond office that's going over your publisher's library.
Supposed committee.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know there's at least 3. There might be 5.
For all we know, it might be one with a blacklist. You never know.
There's none right now, I think.
Nope.
There's
Well,
none.
I don't think they're taking on new clients at the moment until everything settles down. So
yeah,
and even then, it won't be the same Diamond, hopefully.
But again, let the market decide.
Yeah,
that's what I hate.
It
about
always
that
should have
stuff.
been.
That's why we started Fund My Comics, so the market can decide. You know, the way things get moved up to the front page is if they've been tipped. You know, I had somebody message me yesterday. They said, you know, if a campaign becomes popular, does the staff do anything special? You know, to help promote the book. I'm like, well,
that sounds sexual, though.
Well, we promote everybody's book equally, right? We don't stop. Our social media guy grabs campaigns at random to support and to focus on our social media. Again, I know people think that that's me. It is not me, but they are definitely making me look good. So thank you, social media guy, because people. I mean, if they do think it's me, they're liking it, but it's not me. I think
don't break the illusion, man.
Might be nicer than me.
Yeah, don't break the illusion, Luke. They think it's you. Nice. You're the face.
I am it's unfortunate I don't have a better face. I'm not trans or anything, but I do kind of wish I was a girl for this.
Look, the thing about being beautiful, like as long as you're not vomit inducing, you'll be fine.
A beautiful lady, I'll tell you, can sell way better. Than any dude with a gray beard, for certain. Yeah.
Depends on what you're selling, though.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sex will sell anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theoretically. Yeah.
Not AIDS.
Even AIDS.
Well, even AIDS. Yeah.
Even AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'll risk it.
That's still around, so yeah, I think maybe
I'll risk it, baby. Come on.
If the gay community is any judge, sex will definitely be sold with AIDS.
Yeah. That was a package
too
in
far?
the 80s. Yeah,
it's worth the risk.
That was a package in the 80s. Like, yeah.
All right. So that's my rant about that. That curated, it really wasn't the best place for retailers to go to see what was available.
No.
It really wasn't. So now there's
but
a
it
lot
was
of
the only
concern.
place. That's the problem.
Yeah. It was the only place. Yeah, Paul, sorry. Yeah, somehow we digressed into
AIDS.
Into AIDS.
That was my fault.
It always goes back to AIDS.
It's always friggin' Pedro.
Yeah, it was my like, dude. I am responsible enough to take, to be accountable for the things I do. I didn't invent AIDS though, but yeah, I brought it into the conversation.
Hamalana.
I know more than you.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
But the real issue is why not? Bring
Why not?
AIDS? Yeah, exactly.
Why not? Yeah. Anyway. Segue.
Yeah.
So now there's a lot of concern about the fate of Diamond previews.
Oh no.
And its accompanying data files and how that information will become available to retailers if they go away. The impact that a loss of Diamond's going to have on most stores is the lack of data that's going to be available that Diamond usually produced on a regular basis. Was the way Phil Boyle of Florida chain Coliseum of Comics, nice guy, great chain, laid out the issues in an interview earlier this year. Everything from weekly reorder lists to their initial data files that they put out for the previews catalog, things like that. If all that goes away, we've clearly lost one-stop shopping for information. I don't know that anybody's going to be replacing that information. I understand
had a
everyone likes
one-stop shopping
shop,
place,
but
yeah.
I have not seen really one-stop shops work for the long term for the betterment of
humanity.
Yeah.
I'm a little ignorant here. The previews are just solicitations, right? Don't the companies themselves put those out? Not the actual issue formats, but like the solicitations themselves. Because I'm always reading those online. I only recently started getting actual like booklets of them.
Well, you get them online because you're a consumer, and so they promote those to consumers once they've been accepted into previews. But it's previews, so the way that works, the way this kind of all goes down, which is probably good for all of our listeners to talk about this one, is so let's say, Arrow, we have books that are ready in the pipeline, ready to go, ready to be distributed. And let's just say it's Alice in Chains, right? We want to put out the first issue of Alice in Chains through the direct market. We will take that book. We will send a PDF file of that book with some other information that Diamond requires as far as when you releasing this, how often is it coming out, give us a quick synopsis and all that kind of stuff. And so then they will look that over, and they will determine whether or not they could sell it. Not the retailer. Not the retailer determining whether or not their audience wants that. They will determine if it fits into the genres that they want to promote. So if it is a little bit outside of, the typical superhero genre, or, if you're doing something that's more kid-centric, they will, and they have rejected them because they don't think they can sell it. So it's not whether or not they, it will sell or not. They don't think they can. So, but anyway, once you get that book accepted by that group, right, by those individuals, now some publishers have the ability to bypass all of that, and they just get to publish what they want, right? Some bigger groups, right? But smaller ones, the green section, where we're at, you've got to go through this process. And then once that's accepted, they will put it in previews, and they'll give you a previews number. And then you have to take that and you have to market it. It's part of what they're asking for is, how are you going to market your book in previews? They don't do any marketing whatsoever. They only put the listing in previews catalog. That's all they do. So if you are a reader, what we would have to do as the publisher is to take that listing, and now we have to go to social media and our mailing list and all of our supporters, our fans, and say, please go to your local comic shop and put this on your pull list, right? What that does is that forces the local comic book shop to order the book before the final order cutoff, right? So we need to get 500 orders, 600 orders, whatever, by that cutoff date to make it financially acceptable to print the books and to ship the books, right? So if we don't get that number, it's going to be upside down and we're not going to break even. So we have a break even number that we know we need to hit in order to publish that book, which is the way it should always be. Submit the book, put it in there, let us sell it. And if it doesn't meet the requirements for final order cutoff, well, then we just publish it, or we publish it anyway and take and take it back and be upside down. So that's up to us. It should be up to us. So you're seeing that, you're seeing the publisher trying to get the reader to go put it on their pull list.
Your sound is now coming through here pretty choppy, Luke.
Yeah, here too.
I knew this was heavily monopolized. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Oh yeah, and it's been that bad for decades.
For decades. And the things like this sounds like a lot of extra work without seeing a dime yet.
Right. It's a large investment that you're putting up front.
Yeah. Just because they feel you can't sell, like this is a dumb way to make business. So.
Luke is actually making it sound nicer than what it was, as well too.
Yeah. So in summary, Diamond is dead and comics have AIDS.
Ding dong, the bitch is dead.
There we go.
Sorry.
All right. Let's move on. In the early years, it was more difficult, and Diamond had to do more work to open new suppliers over time. Suppliers came to Diamond.
Diamond didn't open any new suppliers or retail accounts. They sat there and ran as middleman, and you had to jump through their hoops in order for them to pay you any attention. So I can't tell you how many people came to me and says, "Hey, I'm thinking about opening up a comic shop," and I go, "Hey, you better check into Diamond first and see if you can put up with them because they don't work like a normal business."
Yeah.
So over time, suppliers came to Diamond because they were known as the distributor to the channel. Replicating that data flow, if Diamond's new owners decide to eliminate or reduce categories or dramatically change how they distribute advanced order data, it's going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible. It's a really, three reallys, guys. Big problem that is a two-level problem, Brian Hibbs of Comics Experience in San Francisco explained. The first level is how do we, the retailer, ingest that information and that data so that we are able to order or sell those books in the first place. Then the second question, which is as important, if not maybe more important, is how do we then communicate that down to our customers? He continued. It's not just getting the information, it's whether the information comes or can be packaged in the monthly groupings in which fans and retailers are used to ordering. So basically, they've created this Pavlovian system is really what they're doing, guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That this is what they're used to. And you can already see the pushback on, well, something new. I don't know how can we learn something new? Come on.
Yeah, like, we got to work now?
We're an intelligent being. We're an intelligent species for the most part. We can learn a new way. It's not that big a deal.
And we can find solutions to problems. Even like a monkey will grab a stick and put it into the ant, the anthill and get the ants out. It's just
exactly. But publishers that release graphic novels, for example, typically distribute information by season, with 3 seasons a year. So it's an issue not only to get the information, but also to have it in a way that matches ordering cycles. If it's not part of the cycle in which we think of ordering, which is the monthly cycle, if it's given to us on a 3 times a year basis, then things will slip and not be communicated properly, Hibbs said, noting that as a single store operator, he does not have staff hours to spend collecting and messaging data into usable forms. Now that does make sense. I agree with that. Yeah. There are multiple POS systems, including Comic Hub, Managed Comics, Diamond's legacy system, Comic Suite, and others that retailers can use to handle the monthly data flow and take pre-orders from their customers. But even if they can get information directly from the many suppliers that Diamond has carried in the past, and it is in the correct cycle, it also needs to be a digestible format. If there's one thing I would let you to make the thing, that doesn't make sense. If there's one thing that I would let you to make the thing that I say in this report that is a clunky sentence. Every publisher who is not Penguin Random House, Lunar, or Diamond has got to get on the Comet standard tomorrow, Hibbs emphasized. I think he's wrong. But who am I? I'm a nobody. The Comet standard was developed by comic retailers organization Comics Pro, which has been working to get publishers to adopt it as their metadata format for the channel. Not 6 weeks from now, not 6 months from now. They've got to figure out the Comet standard right away, because without us being able to input data correctly into our point of sale system, we will never be able to sell the book that people are trying to put out. Okay, I do agree with that. One bit of good news is that retailers are already seeing July previews files for September releases. The bad news is that the number of products listed is about a third smaller than the listing in June, likely reflecting the loss of Penguin Random House as a supplier and perhaps others. Big changes in data flow are starting now. Comics retailers have already figured out how to deal with 3 suppliers to get their major comic lines. But the question now is what Ad Populum does with the rest of the business. Can Ad Populum create a profitable business by aggregating those hundreds of suppliers that Diamond used to carry as secondary lines, but without the big volume titles to cover much of the overhead? If so, how? Will a monthly data file still be part of the picture? Ad Populum has been quiet, so it's not clear where they're headed, but they paid a lot of money for the Diamond assets they acquired. So I'm hopeful that they have a plan to continue to distribute many of the products that Diamond has historically carried. Let's also hope they have a plan to maintain the data flow that goes with them. Data flow, guys, is now the problem. And there's new litigation.
All right.
Oh no, can you believe it? As new Diamond Comics Diamond Select owners ask for TRO on Alliance Entertainment, the new owner, Diamond Comic Distributor, has filed a motion. The new owner, that's Universal, right? It's the new owner.
Yeah.
Filed a motion in Maryland bankruptcy court seeking a temporary restraining order on Alliance Entertainment, adding a new round of litigation around the troubled Diamond's bankruptcy. The motion was filed by Sparkle Pop LLC. I can't take that serious. Sparkle Pop LLC. Guys, we're Sparkle Pop LLC.
I mean, they were a mess in life. They were a mess in death. Jesus.
I don't know, man. That's crazy.
We're going to give that a little razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
Spirit fingers. Yeah.
Jazz hands.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
That's what Chicago again. Yeah.
Like, put that, make that a DBA. But I mean, Sparkle Pop, like, it's hard to take that serious. It's like, hey, what's your company's name?
Sparkle, unless it's
I work at Sparkle Pop anyway.
Yeah, unless it's like a male-on-male strip club. Sparkle Pop is not a nice name.
Yeah, right. Sparkle Pop. I can't.
Yeah.
So where you? I got a part-time job at Sparkle Pop. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
What are you doing there? Well,
I had to learn how to dance.
Had to dance, and I want to dance.
I want to dance.
I long to dance. That's Sparkle Pop.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Anyway, where was I? Okay, the entity used by NECA and WizKids owner Ad Populum to acquire the comic and merch distribution assets of Diamond. Okay, so Ad Populum and WizKid, they use Sparkle Pop. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Alliance Entertainment is the company that was originally awarded both Diamond Comic Distributors and Alliance Game Distributors. As the result of an auction of the company's assets, Alliance Entertainment terminated the asset purchase agreement and filed suit against Diamond and related parties after discovering WizKid, that Wizards of the Coast was not an ongoing supplier of Alliance games. You might know Wizards of the Coast, pretty big company. Yeah, pretty big company. And if you lose that, probably one of the most popular gaming publishers
Dungeons
in the world.
Dragons.
Yeah, if you lose them, wow. Pixel, you're absolutely right. I swear I'm watching ADHD.
That's my fault.
The new motion was filed as a result of Diamond and Ad Populum's discovery that Alliance Entertainment recently hired 7 Diamond employees and appeared to be taking steps to go into competition with Diamond's new owners. They were already in competition with Diamond's new owners. You fired them. They hired them. It is what it is, man.
Yeah. Free market. It's fantastic.
Welcome, RJ. Sorry I didn't have
Hey, what's up, RJ?
Hey, man. What's up?
Sorry I didn't have a little intro for you. That's
all good. I'm late because I'm joining from work, and what can I say? It gets busy sometimes.
So here are the 7 people that Alliance hired. It included Vice President of Sales Mike Schimmel, who was hired as Senior Vice President of Sales by Alliance Entertainment on the day after the sale to Ad Populum closed, and 6 other sales and purchasing employees. The motion alleges that former Diamond Director of Collectibles Sales, Joe Lunday, had a conversation with a representative of Amazon on his last day at Diamond, in which he told the Amazon rep that he was going to Alliance Entertainment, which was building out its collectibles business, and that he hopes to do business with Amazon in his new role there. Nothing here is illegal so far. The Spark Pop motion filed on June 9th was preceded by a cease and desist letter sent by Diamond to Alliance Entertainment on June 2nd. Let's find out what this cease and desist letter says.
Yeah.
The motion requests a temporary restraining order for 14 days in a hearing to consider a preliminary injunction, which would last until the trial on the matter. The restraining order being requested would prevent Alliance Entertainment from continuing to employ those employees and from soliciting any current employees of Diamond. Seriously. They want to make these people unemployed forever.
Yeah, this is
forever.
Stupid.
And from entering into an agreement with Amazon or other companies that related to Diamond's assets. I don't think they can do that.
No,
I'll tell you, if a judge sides for this, I mean, this is just basically, it's illegal. They should have just posted about this. It'd have been over already.
Yeah, this is trying to cripple somebody's career beyond.
And they don't want them using Diamond's trade secrets. Your trade secrets are you suck.
Windows XP,
won't be the first time the court has ruled in Diamond's favor in opposition to everyone else's figuring how the law goes.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Diamond is used to fight with artists, not with big companies. So I don't know.
Don't forget, Diamond was ruled as not being a monopoly way back when they went to court. The judge says, no, that's not a monopoly because there's other distributors out there.
Yeah.
Not for comics, right?
Not necessarily
they
for
were
comics, no. But they were
monopoly. That judge was wrong. But
to me, what this sounds like is Alliance got in, took a look at the books, and said, why are we paying this money? We can just do it ourselves. Knowing how Diamond was folding, they had already lost Wizards of the Coast. They just sat back, waited for these employees, the ones who actually knew how the system worked, to be laid off, just picked them up.
Yeah. Diamond's trade secrets.
I don't think Diamond has a leg to stand on at this point.
They absolutely suck at doing what they do. That's why they
have
bankrupt.
for 40 years. So,
that's why they're in the boat they're in.
Exactly.
No one wants to copy the secrets Diamond's been using.
Yeah, the secrets of suckage.
Obviously, Alliance has seen a lot of growth over the years. Yeah. What they want to do is they want to. I'm just. You know what? Let's continue.
Yeah.
Which were disclosed as part of the sales process. So these trade secrets. The confidential information was disclosed to Alliance Entertainment under a non-disclosure and non-solicitation agreement, according to the motion. In addition, the motion seeks they want to get paid and other damages to be determined at trial. They're just trying to get some of their money back is all they're trying to do. They realize they made a bad investment, and let's try to get this other company that realized and got out of it. Let's try to get them to pay for some of our losses. Mm-hmm. There's now significant litigation around both of the major parts of the Diamond assets sold at auction, with Alliance Entertainment suing over the information it was provided about Alliance game distributors, and Sparkle Pop looking for the court to intervene in actions taken by Alliance Entertainment that appear to put it into competition with the comics and merch side of the business. They were always going to be competition.
They should all kiss, make up, and go have a vanilla daiquiri at Sparkle Pops.
Go to Sparkle Pops. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, and then brighter news, we're going to talk about Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Dark Horse parent getting new CEO as restructuring of Embracer continues.
Okay.
Embracer, Dark Horse parent Embracer Group is getting a new CEO on August 1st. It's around the corner, guys. As the restructuring of the company continues, the company announced Phil Rogers. That's a good name.
Yeah.
Will be promoted from Embracer Group Deputy CEO to CEO, and Embracer Group founder and current CEO, Lars Wingerfors, will move to executive chair of the board. That's nice.
Yeah.
He gets to stay home most of the days. Maybe he can send a proxy.
Yeah, but what we went from Phil Rogers to Lars Wingerfors. So like 70s action hero name to like the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. Rogers became CEO of British video game company Eidos, Tomb Raider, in 2008.
Oh, nice.
And was CEO of Square Enix's Western business from 2009 to 2022 when it was acquired by Embracer Group. Embracer Group will be renamed Fellowship Entertainment when the company spins off video games companies Coffee Stain Group.
Ooh,
I really don't like that name.
That's unfortunate.
Which will take place by the end of this calendar year. Major assets will include The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Kingdom Come Deliverance, great game, Tomb Raider, also good game, and over 300 additional game IPs, along with publishers and entertainment company Dark Horse. So guess what? Looks like they're in the comic book distributing business now.
Yep. That's awesome.
Hey, things are looking up for collectibles. GameStop collectibles sales soar, even as overall sales plummet. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What?
Uh-oh. People aren't buying physical games anymore, guys. GameStop sales on its collectibles category, which includes trading card games and other tabletop games, soared even as overall sales plummeted in its most recent quarter ending on May 3rd, 2025. Collectible sales were up 55% to a whopping $211.5 million from a little meager $136.8 million in the year ago period. Overall, sales were down 17%. Wow, you go up by that much, and sales were still down by 17%. Behind a 30% drop in video games, hardware, and accessories. GameStop's success as growing sales in the collectibles category began in 2024 when it began buying slabbed Pokemon trading card game cards in its stores and selling them online. Guys, I don't know. Maybe they're going to go online and just be collectibles.
Yeah.
I don't know. In addition to organic declines in same-store sales, the chain has been aggressively closing locations, with nearly 1,000 stores closed in its last fiscal year, ending on February 1st. The company closed on the sale of its Canadian operations to McFarlane Toys co-owner Steph Tetrault on May 4th, after the period ended, which will bring down the store count further. GameStop's cash hoard continues to provide the difference between losses and profits. After making $50.6 million in interest income for the quarter, the company showed a net profit of $44.8 million. The interest income more than offset the $10.8 million operating loss for the quarter, a big improvement from the $50.6 million operating loss in the year ago quarter. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, you got money in the bank. The interest is going to help you stay alive. So at least they're being smart there. That shows some good management.
And they've sold all of their Canadian operations to McFarlane Toys.
All of them. Yep, gone.
Oof.
GameStop appears about to turn the corner to an operating platform. Canada's
operating profit.
had an operating loss of $22.2 million for the quarter.
Ouch.
A loss that will no longer pull down overall results now that the sales of GameStop Canada have closed.
Whew. Ditch that lead weight. Onward.
Yeah. You want to read this one for me, Randy?
I can try, but your feed is popping in and out. People on the move. Steve Leaf from Diamond to Hermes Press. Hermes Press has announced that they have hired Stephen Leaf as their new sales director. Leaf worked as manager buyer of the book Nook from 76 to 91, then as buyer for CB and Associates for 2 years. He joined Diamond Comic Distributors in October of 09, first in retailer sales and then as assistant manager in purchasing, where he worked with Dark Horse Comics, IDW, CrossGen, that's no longer around, Abstract Studios, and other publishers. His comics cred goes back even further. He read his first comic at the age of 6 and was involved in the Atlanta comic scene, including the Atlanta Comics and Fantasy Fair, as well as the local direct market in the early 70s. Leaf posted on LinkedIn last week that he was still employed at Diamond, but was open to new opportunities. Alliance Entertainment's hired 7 former Diamond employees last week, after which Sparkle Pop, the entity used by NECA WizKids owner Ed Poplum to purchase Diamond Comic Distributors, sued Alliance.
Say it again. Say the name of the company again.
Sparkle Pop.
I love the way he says it, man. That's great.
Better than going
Sparkle Pop.
Sparkle Pop.
Sparkle Pop.
Sparkle Pop. After which Sparkle Pop, the entity, it's the entity used by NCAA WizKids. I don't know why they just didn't call it WizKids.
Right.
Hey, can we come up with a dumber name than WizKids?
Clip it.
Sparkle
Yes.
Pop.
Sparkle Pop is the name of the My Little Pony. That's a rainbow, right? Isn't that what it is?
I have no idea. I'm not a brony, man.
I'm not,
So
not even
I'm
sure.
not a brony either, but I would imagine that sounds like a My Little Pony name. Sparkle Pop.
Don't ask me why I know this, but it's Twilight Sparkle.
Okay, I was close.
I will not ask.
That was the darker
I'm very
version,
tempted to ask.
right? That was after it had gone into the Star Trek mirror universe and come back.
I have already too many horrible memories in my brain living in Latin America, so I will refrain from asking why you know that name.
It all ties back to chickens.
Yes.
We're gonna let it all ties back. It's all about chickens, guys.
It's all about the chickens, guys.
Always chickens. Clip it.
Man, I love it when a clip works out just perfect.
Pixel says.
Yeah, I love it when a clip works out just perfect.
Love it when a plan
Well,
comes
guys,
together.
we are getting ready to close out. Before we do, it looks like something must have come up, and Kitty didn't make it.
I don't know.
So
Pops
maybe-
was in the chat earlier, so
Maybe she can make it next week.
Maybe.
I don't know. Hopefully nothing happens with work to where I can't come next week. Next week is Juneteenth. The following week there will be no Nerd Bacon because we'll be on the adventure trip, and I'll be in Tennessee, probably climbing a mountain at that time. So
Nice.
that's a big step for being in a wheelchair to climb in a
That
mountain.
was huge.
Yeah,
That's
friends, that is
huge.
what God can do.
it's a big
Yeah,
big
absolutely.
step just to go from the wheelchair to climbing out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. So
Luke, did you just say there is or is not a show next week?
there is next week. There is not the week after.
Okay.
So yeah, so we will be here on Juneteenth, but we will not be here.
Everyone dressed for the occasion.
27th or whatever.
Anyway,
Dress for the occasion. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if I can dress for Juneteenth without making it awkward. So I just won't.
My lawyer has advised me not to respond to that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably wise. That's why you
Yeah.
pay them the big bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
why would you ever be worried about looking awkward on this show?
I don't want to get guys in trouble, man.
Pixel says he'll be at Disneyland next week dropping Mermaid stickers.
There we
nice.
go.
Dude, like,
Let's give all the security staff there that heads up. Thanks, Pixel. Yeah, that's
dude. Have you seen like
Check it out, baby.
the Classic Monsters ride at Universal?
Those look sick.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking awesome. They're kicking Disney's ass.
Oh
They
yeah,
are.
yeah. That whole all the videos I've seen of that park just shake your head.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
I might risk going to the U.S. and maybe being deported to Somalia to check that park out.
It could happen. It could happen.
Just saying, yeah.
It could happen.
They were asking me like, why I don't go to Europe? Like I have some.
You want a
friends who live
vacation
there.
to Somalia? Come to the U.S. We'll send you there.
Yeah, dude. Like I told them, like I don't know anyone in Morocco. I'm one confused cop.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
From deporting me to Tunisia.
Before we go, here's our indie pick of the week.
Pixel, don't worry.
If you can get in, just deport voluntarily, and your train or your plane back will be paid for, plus an extra $1,000.
Yeah.
Nice.
A bonus, man.
There you go.
That's
Flip
nice.
City, Volume 25, the world's only satire magazine. Mort Todd cracked. Editor said that. About
Nice.
This is the new version of Mad Magazine. It's so nice. This is fun. 64 full color pages. Tons of parody.
Simperman.
Nice.
Simperman. Alex Luter, CEO of Luter's Co., meets with his band of pubescent tech wizards in the Luter Lab, where they conduct a financial audit of U.S. federal spending programs. These records from the Treasury Department are showing massive discrepancies. What do you pimply teenage geeks make of all of this? This looks fun. It's funny. I love this book. I love this magazine. It's one of my favorites. You guys should definitely check this out.
Yeah.
It has tons of different contributors. There's word puzzles in there. Just good stuff. Good content. It's funny. It's based.
Nice.
They have a stretch goal of $2,500. They're still working on their main goal of $2,000. 3 days to go. Come on, guys, get it. This is a keep it all. They're going to put out this book no matter if they hit that goal or not. They always do. And I always get it. And I always love it. Always. So I'm going to pop this here in the chat for all y'all.
Pop it.
To be able to go buy this book. Go buy this book. Do it. And you're going to thank me. When you get this book, I know you're going to thank me. And
you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
I'll accept that responsibility.
As you should.
Frederick Lamont got his this week, actually.
There you are.
Yep. So it's happening, guys. It is happening. And that $2,500 stretch goal, if they can pull that out, all physical backers will get Volume 8, Flip City's Horror Show. As a free bonus.
Nice.
Excellent. Guys, I need to be getting out of here.
Okay.
We have like I said at the top of the show, I have a viewing that I need to get to. It's a sad occasion. I'm glad that we had a little break from the morning.
The doom and gloom.
Not the MORN, but the MOURN.
Yeah.
Morning.
Okay.
To be able to enjoy your guys' company, I want to thank you guys for being here. You are always a pleasure to hang out with. Last couple weeks have been rough. I've been pretty much tied up with doing social media stuff and dealing with work here. And so it's always nice to skate back into my comic book retreat with my buddies and my fellow soldiers in arms for creativity and whimsy. We are here to fight for creativity and whimsy. And I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of that circle, each and every one of you. And thank you, chat, for being here today. Really do appreciate you and your input. It's always fun to hang out with you on Thursday mornings. It is a pleasure. Definitely check out Pedro's animation school. And he's working on some new stuff we really can't talk about yet. But he will release some great stuff doing a book with R.T. Bear.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I have huge news that I can't divulge, but I'm gonna.
Well,
be
then don't
busy
talk
for
about
the-
it.
Do it,
dude. Do not tell us things that you can't tell us.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't get us excited about it.
Yeah, no, but the thing's
I
like,
got
I'm gonna be
huge
busy.
news.
Or just tell us.
I'm gonna be busy for 2026 and maybe the beginning of 2027. So
Congratulations.
Sweet.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
RJ has a book that's funding right now. Definitely want to go check
Indeed.
out. Definitely want to go check out the book.
I actually just backed it while we were on the show.
You
Oh,
did?
thank
There
you.
we go.
Oh, you know what that means?
Flip that bird.
That bird.
I like the dancing bird.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. It's going to be an awesome book. It's going to be an awesome book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call Sign Orion. It's a dystopian science fiction. Lots of fun.
Yep.
Action
After, we got pretty much my whole weekend is art. It's art on Pawn. It's art on Orion. It's trying to finish up a cover for someone. Trying to clear out a lot of the to-dos that have kind of been piling up. Because the last 2 weeks has just really been phooey. It's been, man.
It's been fooey.
Yeah, it's
Phooey.
been phooey. Yeah.
Fooey.
Kong, Kong,
So definitely check that out.
That was a
Check
fun
out that.
cartoon.
Yeah, check out that campaign. It's live on Fund My Comic right now.
Atlantean 3 will be there middle of July.
Yep.
Fund My Comic.
In fact, you can see Call Sign Orion right up at the top, second
go.
row as you log in there, right underneath the print your comics on newsprint. Yep, right there. Still 84 days ago. Quite a long time. Trying to raise $6,000. This book's gonna cost about $6,000 to produce. So RJ definitely appreciates your support. And I'm gonna tell you what, guys, you are going to like this book, just plain and simple. I don't normally work on people's other stuff if I don't like it. It's one of two main projects right now that I'm working on, and not even my own stuff. I'm like pushing my own stuff to the side to work on these projects because my time is limited and these books are fun. You guys are gonna
Yeah,
love
Mike
these.
Barron also said it's fun. He's the editor on the book, and everyone who's read the script has told me it's fun. Like I hear that word a
Yeah.
lot. So
It's gonna be nice to have my name on a book with Baron. I've
Yeah.
always been a big fan of Baron.
same.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Infinite Entertainment, thank you for joining us for the first time. Normally, we get a nice salty little post or comment from you, super chat. We do appreciate that. Today, I am encouraging everyone to go check out at the Pawn Comic, or on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. We would like to have you guys follow that project. We're going to be releasing more art as we get some more colors in. We're going to be releasing more character bios. And it's going to be, I think you guys are going to like this book. It is not your typical comic book. It's got a little bit of fear, a little bit of horror, a little bit of suspense, some gore, some grossness, a little bit of humor, and a lot of heart. Just a lot of heart and soul to it. Even the souls that are damned to eternity.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Check out Randy.
Those count too.
Check out Randy. Randy's going over there with you've got a couple shows. that
I
you
got
do?
the Comics by Night at 5 a.m. on Friday. We're looking at John Buscema's Avengers from Marvel Treasury Edition number 7. Great stuff. And then on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. is Sunday Funnies, where we're going to be looking at an issue of the Jack Kirby Collector. Great stuff, especially if you want to see some Kirby work in pencil. It's a fantastic issue from Two Marls. We'll be looking at that on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So Sunday Funnies.
9 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, listen to it on your way to church.
Or afterwards. Most of
Who
our
am I
listeners
kidding?
are after
Who am
the
I
fact
kidding?
anyway.
You heathens don't go to church.
Just listen to it while you're working.
Listen to it while you're working. Yeah.
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 Always fun.
Watch it after Sunday lunch.
We've been
nice
doing
and
this
really
for
quick.
over 2 years now, and we've got quite an archive over at
It
Comic
is-
Book Black Belt, the Randy
it
Zim
is
YouTube channel,
fun.
and the Indie Comics Network. So
It is a lot of fun.
then take a look.
It's about the great things in comics that we all love. It shies away from all the drama that's out there and all the
We try.
posture.
We
and
try to be.
positioning that people find themselves in.
Yep, we try to be positive about that.
It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
Dr. Mask, tomorrow's is awesome. Yep.
Yep, very good. All right, guys, it is that time.
And
remember-
thanks, Jeff, for buying the Atlanteans. Take your time and read both issues when you can. Let me know what you think. I'm very proud of them.
Guys, thank you for being a part of building things up instead of tearing things down. There's been a lot of tearing down lately.
Too much.
But you four are actively trying to create and produce something that people can get excited about and get behind. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Sometimes you think you're all alone out there in your fight for creativity and whimsy, and it turns out you're not. There's an army of people around you. I'm grateful to
Is the term whimsy warriors up for grabs?
Whimsy warriors. There it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like sometimes you feel you're all alone, and then you feel that hand in the bathtub. And then you know you're not.
Oh, you had to go there.
Yeah.
Hamalana.
Hamalana. But yeah, guys, thanks for building up more than you tear down. You're all leaving the woodpile higher than you found it, which is great. And I encourage everyone out there watching right now, either live or in playback, if you find this little section and you've made it to the end, thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I just encourage you to try to leave that woodpile when you found it. And you know what's coming, guys. By all means,
Be careful out there.
Please be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. 2 Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see it 211, half a dozen 459, 2 AEWs, a GTA, and several miscellaneous crimes. Homicide